It's Chippy.
Pete's.
Beans. Look at
Oh my
her.
gosh. Your regularly scheduled chickpea content.
Oh my god, look at the way that her peats are spread.
Hi, Chippy.
Okay, so what we have discovered is that we did indeed get the bad ending for Keaton, and it wouldn't allow us to progress onto the next date. Like, it basically makes you replay that date with Keaton to get the good ending.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't actually replay it.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen what choices like make the difference to getting the good ending with Keaton. I think already based on like assumptions, I have complicated feelings about that, but we can kind of come back to that later. We like skipped through it because it gives you an option to like skip to good ending or skip to bad ending, so that we can move on to the date with Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I have complicated feelings about that because I feel like our decisions were based on like not putting up with bullshit.
Yeah. I wonder if you can unlock some of the others through playing other people's stories, but that might only have been the case for when we did Inaya's date with Amhari, as well as unlocking Keaton's date. It unlocked a date from Amhari's perspective as well.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you couldn't progress unless you got a different ending.
We were nailing all the endings clearly before Keaton.
yeah, so we hadn't really experienced it asking us to replay, but that's interesting.
Yeah, part of me is like, maybe they should be called ending 1 and ending 2 instead of having good and bad associated with them.
Yeah, totally, I agree with that. I think that I always feel like calling something a good ending and a bad ending is like, you know, it already kind of, yeah, it's an issue because it assigns one with more value than the other one.
Yeah. Whereas we clearly got a lot of stuff to talk about out of our bad route, apparently.
Yeah, like I honestly, because I didn't really like that situation at all.
Yeah.
Like I like don't consider the ending that we got like bad.
No.
But I'm excited to meet Catherine. I don't know anything about her. A cooking disaster at the modelling academy, written by Rami Blackwood. Content warnings: body image.
A recurring theme for Inaya.
Yes.
You know how the saying goes, New Year, New You, or something. Is that even how the saying goes?
Yeah.
Oh, who cares, it's not the new year, it's October. But you're feeling like a whole new person, so what's to stop you? Halloween is the new year. You've just decided it right now. It's the pagan New Year. You woke up in a very positive mood and you're not sure why. You haven't really done anything that different lately. You did drink a green smoothie. Maybe that has something to do with it. Spinach. Fuck it, maybe it's just all the sex you've been having recently. And by all the sex you mean two whole sex, which is a lot for you. Maybe you should ride your good mood out as long as you can and deep clean the apartment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's attempt it.
I know that for me personally, it's a big deal when I feel like I'm
able to clean. I'm able to do it, yeah.
So
you decide to deep clean the place, meaning you vacuum and dust the windowsills and clean the toilet. The only part of your apartment that you consistently keep clean is the kitchen, and that's because it's the part that's visible in your lives. If you ever turned the camera around to your living room, you'd probably instantly lose like 500 followers. Work has been better recently, in that you've managed to finish a few streams without incident. Last week you made homemade ice cream, and a couple days ago it was mushroom risotto. Risotto is easier than most people think it is, and just requires a bunch of stirring. For some reason, bitches hate stirring. It stresses them out.
I mean, yeah. I'm bitches.
Your subscriptions did end up with a boost from your collab with Keaton, as much as you hate to admit it. You released the video the two of you made after you calmed down and realised you were being ridiculous. He might be kind of a jack-off, but you don't think he's going to publicly talk about hooking up with you, especially since so much of his brand is being a cool woke boy online. You just had close to a panic attack about it because you're you and you've decided the world is out to get you. So you chilled and it turned out fine. What a shock. You're standing in your bedroom looking over potential outfits for your next video when you realise you've basically got no winter clothes. You're not sure how this happened. You remember having about 1 million sweaters, but over the past couple years they've gotten shrunk in the wash, or worn thin in the elbows, or gotten holes in the armpits. That tends to happen to your tops. Maybe your stank is so intense that it melts the cloth. What really needs to happen at this point is a trip to the mall.
I feel like I don't have any winter clothes either.
Yeah. Well, my winter clothes is just wearing all of my summer clothes at once. Like, Fairy K is made for layering. It's perfect for spring and autumn. The mall. A place you spent so much time in when you were a teenager, and absolutely none since you've been able to get into bars. The mall is a surreal space at best, mostly populated by teenagers with no money who just want somewhere to hang out, where they won't get hassled for loitering, and old people who don't want to do their daily walks out in the cold. You wander in and out of stores, trying stuff on and generally trying to avoid your reflection in the mirror as often as you can. You tell yourself that fitting room lighting is never flattering, but just nothing looks good. Don't think about it. Whatever, who cares? It's not even that cold yet. You can make do with the sweaters you have, armpit holes and all. You'll just order some shit online. The mall sucks anyway. So you don't buy any clothes, you just end up standing in a Bordstrom rack. I don't know what that's a reference to. Yeah. Feeling bad about yourself, and feeling bad about yourself because there isn't anything to feel bad about. There's nothing wrong with you. You're healthy. You're happy. Citation needed. Your career is going passably well, and you convinced 2 whole people to sleep with you in the past few months. You're really fine. Interesting judgment of self-worth. There's no reason to feel like shit about what you look like. You turn a corner and bump into a woman. Like, literally walk right into her. You bounce off each other like this is fucking Booney Tunes. Booney Tunes. I love that. What the fuck? You both barely managed to stay on your feet.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, Inaya?
Oh no, they're almost the same colour. I was really confused.
Yeah, that's gonna get confusing.
They're slightly different shades.
Yeah,
of
purple,
I
think I was expecting Catherine to be like bubblegum pink. Maybe it's not legible enough.
Yeah. Huh?
For a moment, you're bewildered. It occurs to you that this chick might be a fan, and then it occurs to you that she looks way too cool to be on Instagram. Well, on cooking Instagram. Inaya, if you don't recognize me, I will scream in this Sears.
It's like Sears, but they spelt it like...
Yeah.
like a seer who sees into the future. So funny. It's a Bordstrom rack.
Literally the same thing.
There's no lamps in Bordstrom rack.
Sure there are.
I really want to know what they're referencing.
Yeah.
Because I know what Sears is a reference to Sears, the superstore, but or like department store. And I've been in a Sears before in Canada, but let us know in the comments.
Yeah, Americans, please help us. She points off to the home section. Sure enough, lamps.
Oh.
It comes to you.
Oh. Catherine!
There we go.
Holy shit.
You wonder if this is the sort of situation where it's appropriate to go in for a hug, but Catherine makes the decision for you. She's good at hugs, you remember this about her. You barely recall any of your college experience, not for any intense partying reasons. You'd more compare it to the sensation of getting on the bus and sliding so deeply down into your thoughts that you arrive at your stop without noticing any of the turns the driver took to get there. That kind of thing. You just barreled through your 4-year degree on autopilot, and then you're out of there. Catherine is one of the things you remember. Not her specifically, but the bar you went to on Friday evenings that you can no longer remember the name of. The couple friends you had would invite their friends, which made it feel like you had a social circle, even if hardly anyone was there to see you, or cared who you were. Catherine was one of the people who stuck in your mind. You can't remember why, just that she was the sort of person you wanted to pay attention to when she talked. It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 years.
What are you up to these days?
Oh, you know, too much to explain just standing in Sears.
You wince. That makes it sound like you think your life is incredibly fascinating, which you don't. You just never know where to start. People either think you sound crazy, or they think you're some cool big shot. Neither of those things are true. Except, on occasion, the crazy part. You busy? I'm just about done.
Oh, do you work here?
Catherine gives you a look. She's carrying a bunch of garment bags and a pink Valeria's Secret tote.
Valeria's Secret. I love
God.
that. I also love that because, like, Valeria makes me think fucking, like, the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah.
Valerian steel. Which is such a different vibe from Victoria. Sorry, you obviously don't work here. I'm a little out of it.
Little late to be half asleep.
I'm always half asleep, thank you very much. Yeah.
What time is it anyway? You have no idea, and you resist the impulse to check your phone. You already feel sloppy enough right now, in yoga pants and a hoodie with some sort of yellow stain that might be turmeric. Listen, you didn't notice that stain until you were on the bus. If you had, you'd definitely have changed your shirt. Let me just pay for this shit, then we can get something to eat.
I'm not...
Stay right there, do not move.
Hungry.
Ooh.
Cute.
Despite your insistence that you actually need to go home and get some work done, well, not insistence, more like vaguely dropped hints that are probably too subtle to pick up, you end up in a cafe in the food court, sitting under a bright umbrella. The place is crowded, and you're shoved into a little alcove next to a fake maple tree. So is this supposed to be a whole forest vibe, or whatever? There are an astounding number of fake trees in here.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to imagine we're in a courtyard somewhere, but with less threat of a leaf ending up in your drink.
I was thinking rainforest cafe.
It looks like that.
Are they going to have the thunderstorms every 15 minutes? The way Rainforest Cafe does.
Is that... I don't think I've ever actually been to one. Does that happen?
So they don't... It doesn't rain or anything, but, like, there's... Actually, I think it's... Yeah, no, it's a thunderstorm, so, like, every 15 minutes there'll be, like, rumbles and, like, flashing lights and stuff, and the animals will make noises. And then in the dinosaur version, which is called T-Rex, I went to both of these when I was in America, there's a meteor shower every 15 minutes. So it's like, cool, dinosaurs are dying all around me while I eat.
Wow, that is such an American...
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. Yeah, I went to the T-Rex on downtown Disney, which I think is called something else now. It's like where there's restaurants and like outlet shops and stuff. And they had a Build-A-Bear inside that was Build-A-Dino, and I made a raptor.
That's cute.
And he's called Ray.
That is very cute.
I think a plastic leaf is at least as bad as a real leaf. At least a real leaf is all natural.
Yeah, I guess it's not the end of the world if you accidentally eat a leaf.
Yeah,
like
it's just a leaf. She stirs her straw around her smoothie. It's a very electric shade of pink. You're not sure what kind of fruit makes the smoothie look like that. You're just having a black coffee. Your sudden flare-up of anxiety half an hour ago left you feeling queasy.
Coffee's not going to help that.
No. So what is this incredible life development that's too complicated for you to tell me in a department store?
I'm a streamer?
Yeah.
It's actually not that complicated.
Just like you'd been dreading, you hyping up your job has got her expecting you to work for the CIA or as a Bevron lawyer or something terrible like that.
I'm, an Instagram chef.
Which is...
It's the slow burn for me. A chef who puts videos of them cooking on Instagram, like live streams.
Oh, yeah, I watch those sometimes.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem that complicated.
Up.
Yeah.
Well, it's got a bunch of different elements to it. Like, there's the actual cooking, which I have a degree for.
Oh yeah, I remember that. You made some good food. You were taking... what was it?
Food science.
Right, exactly. Is that what you do on your channel?
Sometimes, just little things like talking about how different flavors work together, blooming spices, how baking soda works, stuff like that.
Damn, okay. More complicated than I thought.
Mostly those don't get many views though. People don't come to food Instagram to think, I do.
I want to learn things.
Yeah, my favorite food, like, cooking TikToks are where they're talking about, like, how, like, the flavors work together, or, like, food history, or sometimes people do these cooking TikToks where they, like, tell a story, like, about their, you know, this food is important to me because of,
yeah, like this is my grandma's recipe.
Yeah.
Like, that's always soft.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Those are I love food videos that make me think.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the food... I don't necessarily watch a lot of food channels, but I watch someone who does, like, day in the life, week in the life vlogs, and a lot of the element is what she cooks. And I've saved some recipes from there because she cooks a lot of really nice looking Japanese and Korean food. And I'm like, I can make this vegan.
Yeah. What about you?
What about me, what?
What are you doing?
I'm the fashion editor for BQ magazine. Oh, like GQ?
Yeah, I guess so. I hate it, like, you know when you're, like, doing the small talk socializing thing, blah blah blah, and, like, now that like it's outside of uni, and, like, people's small talk question isn't like, what do you study?
Yeah.
Now, like, the way that people phrase it is always, what do you do?
Fully,
I hate that.
I was at a party and met some new people who were PhD students, and they were like, oh, what do you do? And I was, like, explaining my job, and my friend Amy was explaining her job, and she works in, like, widening participation in a uni as well. And then this new person turned to Kieran and was like, oh, what do you do? And he was like, oh, it's nothing, you don't want to know, it's not interesting. And it's like, dude, you work in a corner shop, that doesn't mean that your life is worthless.
Yeah, I know. And that's an interesting example to kind of illustrate of, like, that question can be really charged.
Yeah.
Because, and people don't really think about this, right? Because there are jobs that people might want to disclose. You know, people might, like, really hate their jobs, but you have to work to survive, so, like, they might not want to talk about it. People assign value to different jobs, so they might be like, oh, like, your job is super cool, or they might be like, oh, like,
yeah,
and, like, act like they're not interested and stuff. So it's not actually, like, in my opinion, it's not a great, like, small talk conversation thing.
And what if you're unemployed?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What if you're unemployed? What if you're, like, a sex worker and, like, you know, obviously if you're getting to know someone for the first time, that might not be something that you want to disclose.
Yeah. For
a whole host of reasons. So I think it's actually kind of a, like, I really hate being asked that, and I don't even, yeah, I don't know.
It's a horrible part of adult life.
Yeah, but it does kind of, like, show how much, like, socializing or, like, getting to know people is premised on, like, your work, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's not like that my work isn't important to me or anything, but, like, it's just that, like, what someone does as their job is not who they are.
Yeah, exactly. You laugh.
Okay, touche.
Catherine's eyebrows go up. I'm being serious with that one. You feel your face getting hotter than the coffee.
Oh, I thought we were doing a bit.
Oh no. I don't do bits, I have a job.
Okay, alright, Catherine.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Catherine's brows haven't gone down. You think somebody like me doesn't look like they'd be the editor at BQ? Catherine smiles. Well, you're right. I'm the first black person to ever have the position.
Oh, cool. But I was more thinking that I wasn't sure what you were doing at the mall if you're, you know, a fashion designer.
I'm not a designer, I'm a magazine editor. Big difference, as in they are literally different jobs. Also, how much do you think being a magazine editor pays? I mean, it depends on the magazine.
It definitely depends on the magazine.
Yeah. And if this is like GQ, then she's probably earning a decent amount as an editor.
Yeah.
But also it depends how much money they put into their fashion section, and you're terrible at estimation.
Probably more than putting cooking videos on Instagram.
Fair. But it's definitely not enough to buy my clothes in some fancy-ass boutique. Besides, where am I about to find something like that in the city? You have to concede her point. This place is kind of a shithole. Working for my magazine is mostly pretending that you have way more money than you actually do in order to make the rich people feel more at home.
What do you mean at home?
Just watch Devil Wears Prada and you'll know exactly what she means.
I still, like, I gotta watch that movie.
Have you not seen it?
Yeah, and I feel like I know that I'll at least have thoughts.
You'll have thoughts, definitely. Like, it is definitely a thought-provoking movie, and also quite fun.
Yeah.
Catherine's phone buzzes. She picks it up and idly flicks in her passcode. It means rich people, especially woke rich people, get uncomfortable when they interact with anyone who makes it obvious they have less money than they do. And rich people hate being uncomfortable.
So true.
Catherine has really incredible acrylic nails. For some reason, you've always associated having acrylic nails with being a grown-up. Maybe because all the nurses and teachers and office administrators you interacted with when you were a kid had them. I have noticed that she has the lesbian acrylics, and that her third and fourth fingernails are shorter than the rest of them.
Isn't it usually these
It's usually these two.
But yeah, these two are shorter than the others. Yeah. I think that's so, like, it's so funny.
iconic.
I mean, like, as a flagging thing, I just think it's so funny.
Yeah. You tried them once and had to get rid of them after a couple of days. It felt like you had something alive attached to your hands, or like your bones had grown to protrude through your skin. You hated it. That's why I keep mine short. But they look good on Catherine. Very professional. Give me a sec.
Yeah, I love the way they look, but I feel like they would make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think the decision to keep mine at, like, they've got I get hard gel, so they are, like, reinforced and stop me from biting them, but the length is the length of my natural nails.
Yeah.
Because, when I first got them done and I got extensions done, it was good for helping me grow my nails out, but I felt like I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
I was like, they're gonna ping off.
Yeah, well, I feel like, yeah, I love the way they look, and I feel like if you could, like, put them on for, like, a day and then take them off, then I would definitely do that sometimes.
Yeah. A lot more people are getting into press-ons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I would do that, because, like, if I could wear it for just, like, a few hours or for, like, one day, I would do it. But, yeah, otherwise, obviously I go climbing regularly and everything like that, so there's that too.
Yeah, it was a pain when I had longer ones and I was trying to climb.
Yeah, but I feel like, in terms of lesbian flagging, I have very, very short nails, so I think that someone might clock me on that basis.
She holds up her phone to her ear. Man, it's been so long since you've seen someone talk on their cell phone like it's a phone. You sip your coffee and half listen to Catherine have a conversation that consists of humming and making little disbelieving noises out of her nose. She meets your gaze and rolls her eyes. It makes you feel like you're in on something together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, tell him to kiss my ass. Yes, those exact words. No, I'm not serious. Don't get yourself fired. I'll figure something out. Don't ask how, just do your job. Bye. She hangs up and drops her phone onto the tabletop. She massages her temples.
Everything okay?
Yeah, pretty standard. The model called in sick says she's got Nile virus.
Nile virus? Don't you have to be on the Nile to get that?
I actually don't know. But I don't need someone puking in the studio, so that's fine. I gotta go scare up a replacement in 30 minutes. You laugh, and you get more of her raised eyebrows. Is My Misfortune funny to you?
Huh? No, I was just thinking that if this was a movie, this would be the part where you tell me that the clothes for the photo shoot happen to be my size. I was just thinking, like, she's giving such, like, like, have you seen The Bold Type?
No.
I kind of hate it. But I also, like, couldn't stop watching it. It's basically, like, very, like, white lib feminist, like, about three best friends who work at, like a women's magazine in different sections of the magazine. One of them's, like, the fashion person. But it's very, like, that. Yeah. And you need me to come to the studio immediately.
Catherine tips her head to the side. What kind of movies you've been watching?
Bad ones, probably. Yeah, but, like, bad in a good way.
Yeah.
You know?
She keeps looking at you. I'm sure that we got some clothes in your size. The bottom drops out of your stomach.
Oh, I love this. I was just kidding. Catherine, I was kidding.
You keep waiting for her to join in on the joke, but she keeps looking at you like she's imagining what you'd look like with your clothes off. Or, well, with different clothes on, you guess. You feel like making some money?
Catherine!
You do feel like making money, and you also keep expecting Catherine to laugh and call you a sucker for thinking anybody in the world would want you as a model. But she doesn't stop you from following her to the curb and waiting while she calls an Uber. Then you start wondering if instead she is a serial killer and she's going to bring you to her apartment in order to cut your head off and put it in the freezer. I think Inaya might have a slight obsession with people being serial killers.
I mean, like, a little bit, but I also...
It's a valid fear to have.
Like, the anxiety of, like, oh, I don't know this person very well and I feel like something bad's gonna happen is, like, something that's understandable, especially, like, if you're, like, a marginalized person.
Oh, definitely.
So, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting to point out that it's specifically that she's like, oh, are they gonna murder me?
Yeah.
But I think it's an expression of the fear of, like, the fear of violence because of being a marginalized person.
You're not sure why this is always your go-to guess. You watch Cannibal at a formative age. You getting in or what? Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you aren't already, remember to subscribe and hit that bell button to know when we upload next.
On screen, you can find this whole playlist for this Let's Play, and you can find a link to our latest video essay. If you like what you see, consider supporting us on Patreon. The link to our Patreon is in the description of every video.
Thanks again so much for watching, and until next time, take care.